Merle S. Basher, December 26, 1925 to April 25th, 2016, 90 years old. Born in Denver to Jesse and Opal Basher, they moved to Los Angeles when he was 2 years old and settled in the San Fernando Valley. During the Depression, his father and mother did many jobs, including running the Happy Hill Ranch in the Cagle Canyon community, Merle and his older sister Shirley helping out. Merle earned his bachelor's and master's degrees in mechanical engineering from USC and was a lifelong Trojan. Merle made a career of delivering water and power to Californians. In 1954, he began working for the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, rising to become a manager of the Valley Steam Plant, which generated electricity for the region. In 1967, he joined the California Department of Water Resources as Division Chief of the Southern San Joaquin Field Division of the California Aqueduct and moved his family to Bakersfield. In 1984, Merle accepted a position with DWR in Sacramento, and he and Margie soon moved into a house he designed, his third, in Fair Oaks. He retired from DWR in 1991. Starting in his teens, Merle developed a penchant for internal combustion engines and consistently tweaked and rebuilt engines for cars and boats. In the 1940s and 50s, he raced modified heaps and exotic sports cars on city streets, blocking off side streets for a clean shot down San Fernando Road, and exotic sports cars on tracks around Southern California. One of his accomplishments was shoehorning a Chevy V8 into a large chassis and competing a rare Italian roadster. He later helped his oldest son, Larry, race stock cars. When his middle son, John, wanted help rebuilding a VW engine, Merle was at first reluctant to tangle with the foreign technology until he saw it had horizontally opposed pistons, similar to the aircraft engines he tested at Lockheed during the early days of World War II, before he joined the U.S. Navy. Merle spent his life helping friends and neighbors, and his ability to fix things made him the go-to guy for neighbors who needed help with projects. With his metalworking shop, extensive collection of tools, welding equipment, and seemingly endless supply of hardware, Merle could repair almost anything, or even make a new part, if needed. In his later years, Merle took up jewelry making, producing elegant gifts for family and friends. About the same time, he also developed an interest in blacksmithing, became a member of the California Blacksmith Association, and attending conferences and events around California. He was also committed to teaching others to be better managers. For many years, he taught evening classes at Bakersfield College. Merle volunteered for the Boy Scouts for 35 years. On many weekends, he was a volunteer with the Southern Sierra Council Boy Scouts, helping to train adults to become better leaders of scout troops, and received the Silver Beaver Award for his service. He held various leadership positions in scouting and helped his 3 sons become Eagle Scouts. Merle traveled with Margie to all 50 states, as well as foreign destinations including Germany, Thailand, Malaysia, and Bali. He worked in South Korea for several months, monitoring construction of massive pump impellers for the California Aqueduct. In one particularly brave adventure in 1969, he loaded the family into their station wagon with a trailer and drove across the southern U.S. to the Florida Keys up to Maine through Canada and many other parts of the U.S. Merle always had a quiet, fun streak in him, as demonstrated by his high school prank of making a stink bomb, lighting it near a building air intake, and causing the classrooms to be evacuated on the day of a big test. This was just a warm-up for the fun he and his friends had at USC. Merle is survived by his wife, Margie, of 65 years. Their 3 sons, Larry and his wife, Susan, John and his wife, Elizabeth, and Bob. His grandkids, James and his wife, Primavera, Sherry and her husband, Brian, and Colin. His great-grandkids, Tylen, Maya, Ryan, Tanner, Michaela. If one was to describe Merle's greatest characteristics, they would be his consistent consideration for others, helping others, and seldom had a bad word for anyone. The world will miss Merle. Footprints in the Sand by Mary Stevenson. One night I dreamed I was walking along the beach with the Lord. Many scenes from my life flashed across the sky. In each scene I noticed footprints in the sand. Sometimes there were 2 sets of footprints. Other times there were 1 set of footprints. This bothered me because I noticed that during the low periods of my life, when I was suffering from anguish, sorrow, or defeat, I could see only 1 set of footprints. So I said to the Lord, "You promised me, Lord, that if I followed you, you would walk with me always. But I have noticed that during the most trying periods of my life, there have only been 1 set of footprints in the sand. Why, when I needed you most, you have not been there for me?" The Lord replied, "The times when you have seen only 1 set of footprints is when I carried you."